Hello everybody, today is Monday, August 21st. It's 4:33 p.m. I'm just getting around to making today's video. It's about 30 minutes after the regular session close. You can see some settlement trades going off, and the time in sales at 4:33:26 p.m. was 4:33:34 was the last trade at 24:28. Pretty good day for the auto trader today. Before I begin, first the required disclaimer. Okay, I've been on quite a rave and rant about the DAX, and once again, the DAX trading the London session hit its daily goal in the first two trades, and you can see them here. So the DAX being quite volatile, you can see that just this movement yielded $2,000 on two contracts, and there's way more than $2,000 to be made in a day on the DAX, but with more trading comes more risk. So I've set a modest goal of 2,000 in the DAX in spite of much larger moves that can occur. So I'm showing it this way just to give some perspective to the value, the tick value of a DAX, I think, which is 25 euros per tick. So again, the BWT Auto Trader on the DAX having spectacular performance. Incidentally, I received an email from a client that trades the DAX with real money every day and is super pleased with the auto trader, and just want to thank him for the nice email he sent me. Also made a comment about the robustness of the auto trader and its execution, never an overfill, and being able to handle the fastest markets and such, and being a stable platform, etc. Okay, taking a cue from the DAX, for the first time ever, I plotted the crude oil on a Super Renko 14 tick, and I used the settings from the DAX template, and that actually turned out to be pretty good, as we did 780 on two contracts, and I probably could have loosened up my targets here, as this sell-off went quite almost twice the distance. So I'll have a closer look at the settings on this template and see if I can improve the settings. Okay, next up is the E-mini S&P on a Precision Renko 5132. This is trading three contracts, and I have a couple of E-mini S&Ps on this chart setting. This one is has a limit order at the close of the bar, and 8, 12, and a runner as profit goals. And I'm trailing the stop rather tight at 12 ticks with 20% pullback. That might be able to be improved, as evidenced by this trade here. Went quite a distance, but we were taken out. Nevertheless, 762.50 in the E-mini on three contracts. I'm sure any trader out there would love to have that return anytime. Okay, next up is the E-mini S&P on a Super Renko 6 tick, and this I have starting trading at the open of the London session, and the E-mini S&P can get quite active in the overnight session. So this was an attempt to see how we could do on that, and this delivered in spades. We're trading three contracts here, and this did 812.50, which is super solid return for the E-mini S&P. There was a total of 5 trades. We had 4 winners and 1 loser, as you can see here. So really solid performance. Okay, this is another chart of the E-mini S&P on a Precision Renko 5 tick. Slightly different settings here. We have a limited order at the close of the bar with a 3 tick pullback, and we're only trading 2 contracts here, and we have fixed goals of 12 and 14 ticks, and I showed this on Friday, and this did really well. Today it did as well. It did 625 for the day, so this looks like it's a pretty good setup so far. Okay, another great feature of the Auto Trader that I haven't really spoke about very much is the higher time frame filter, and here we have it on a Super Inco 4-tick, and I have a higher time frame filter on this, which is actually not a higher time frame, it's actually a lower time frame. But that can work out too, as it catches the meat of the move, and usually when it reverts to the a pullback here, in other words, the shaded area is the higher time frame. In this case, I'm actually using a 2-tick Renko, so that's why we're seeing these pink shaded areas are actually pullbacks on the 2-tick. But the way the algorithm works, it kind of allows it to get in the trade early and get more of the meat of the trade. This did pretty good, 387.50 for the day, only trading 2 contracts. So the higher time frame filter on the auto trader is quite a cool feature, and hopefully I'll begin showing more of this. Just one last word on the higher time frame filter. You know, to come up with great settings, it pays to think out of the box, is to try things that might seem a little bit different. And my traders come up with ideas I would have never thought of, such as using really tight sensitivities for the trend, or instead of a higher time frame, actually using a lower time frame. The way the higher time frame filter works is that both time frames have to be in agreement. So in this case, it's a lower time frame and a higher time frame as the regular chart. So maybe we should just call this a time frame filter. So not to confuse everybody, we're basically looking for 2 time frames to be in agreement. So this kind of shows that whether it's lower or higher can work either way. Okay, looks like we had some decent action in the Dow. We had an equity high of about 850. Quite active in trades here on the Dow E-mini contract. We settled at 475 for the day, but our equity high was almost twice that. So also something to be said for what times of day you trade. As you can see here, this hit its equity high within the first couple of hours of trading. Okay, next up is the gold on the Super Inco 6-tick. We've seen the gold quite a bit lately, and today's no exception. 410 on 2 contracts. Very good for the gold. Okay, next up is the bonds on a 377-tick line break chart. This has been really consistent. I think we could make better settings here, even if I just took 2 contracts off at the first target. But it's on the plus side of the ledger again, and we've seen it quite a bit. So quite good for the bond. Okay, one last chart here. The crude oil and the Super Inco 10-tick had 2 losers and 1 winner, and had a modest gain of 220 on 2 contracts. That's all for today's video. If you'd like to find out more, please visit our website, or please send us an email to systems@bluewavetrading.com. Thanks for watching today.